Hasso no Kamae, 8 aspects posture. For left forward Hasso no Kamae, the left foot is slightly forward with the heels almost touching. The right foot is angled about 70 to 90 degrees off to the right. The BISENTO can be vertical at the right side or slightly across the front of the body. The BISENTO can be either high in the air, medium, or low for Tenchi Jin, and the hands can also be high, close to the blade, or toward the middle or toward the bottom, as also Tenchi Jin. Seigan no Kamae, aiming at the eyes posture. In a right forward Seigan no Kamae, the right foot is forward and the left foot is back about 90 to 120 degrees, aimed off to the left. The BISENTO is on your left side and your hands are about hip width apart with your left hand at your left hip. The tip of the BISENTO is between your eyes and the uke's eyes. If you are wearing daisho, 2 swords, then you only can have a right forward kamae, because the suka of the swords will get in the way if you are in left forward kamae. Yoko Ichimonji no Kamae, side one line posture. For a right forward, your right foot is forward and your left foot is back in an Ichimonji type footwork. The BISENTO is horizontal to the ground and the blade can be either forward or to the rear. A left forward Yoko Ichimonji no Kamae would not be easily done if you were wearing daisho. Naka Seigan or Chudan no Kamae, middle aiming at the eyes posture. For a right forward, you would be right foot forward, left foot back in Ichimonji type footwork with the BISENTO on your left side, horizontal to the ground, but passing under your left arm. Hira Ichimonji no Kamae, flat, one-line posture. You are in a Hira or Gisen type footwork with your body flat onto the uke. The BISENTO is horizontal to the ground with the hands about hip width apart. The blade can either be to the right or to the left. The hand closest to the blade is palm up and the other hand is palm down. This also applies to all the other kamae. Oushin, deep and wide swing. The uke is in a right forward Seigan and you are in a right forward Seigan with the Nakago blade forward. You step back with the right leg, bringing the Nakago up to the right shoulder and then step forward with the right leg for a Hidari do giri, a cut to the uke's left side, horizontal to the ground. Then step forward with the left leg, bringing the Nakago overhead, crossing the arms for a Migi do giri to the uke's right side. Then step back with the left leg and forward with the right leg to do Hidari Migi Kesagiri, a diagonal cut down the uke's body from the left shoulder to the right hip. The uke, because of the weight of the BISENTO, will not be able to block effectively with the katana and will need to move out of the way of the strikes. Kakugyaku, tripod reverse. The uke is in a right forward Seigan, and the tori is in a left forward Seigan with the Nakago blade forward. Using the left hand, throw the Nakago up toward the right shoulder, letting go with the left hand, and then re-grabbing the shaft on the opposite end of the blade. Stepping forward with the right leg, cut downward with Hidari Kesagiri, a diagonal cut from left shoulder to right hip. Then step forward with the left leg and back with the right leg, crossing the arms, bringing the Bisento over your head, and then cut downward with Migi Kesagiri, a diagonal cut from the right shoulder to the left hip. Because of the weight of the Bisento, the uke will not be able to parry with the sword and will have to move out of the way. Chikusha, cutting bamboo or bamboo slant. The uke is in a right forward Seigan and the tori is in a right forward Seigan with the Nakago blade forward. Bring the Nakago up to the right shoulder and then step forward with the right leg for Hidari Kesagiri, a diagonal cut downward from the uke's left shoulder to right hip. Then bring the Nakago up to the left shoulder, letting go with the left hand and grabbing above the right hand as you step forward with the left leg and back with the right leg for Hidari Kesagiri, diagonal cut from the uke's right shoulder to left hip. Then bring the Nakago up to the right shoulder, letting go with the right hand and grabbing above the left hand with the right hand as you step forward with the right leg and back with the left leg for Hidari do Giri, a cut diagonally or horizontally with the ground to the left side of the uke's body. Then bring the Nakago up to the left shoulder, letting go with the left hand and grabbing above the right hand as you step forward with the left leg and back with the right leg for a Migi do Giri, horizontal cut to the uke's right torso. Ha-jin or Hame-ha wave edge. The uke is in a right forward Seigan and the tori is in a right forward Seigan with the Nakago blade forward. Lifting the Nakago up to the right shoulder, step forward with the right leg and cut downward to the head with Karataka Wari. Then bring the blade back to the right shoulder, keeping the right leg forward, and again step forward with the right leg for Karataka Wari to the top of the head. Then for a third time, bring the blade back up to the right shoulder, and this time aggressively step forward and lunge at the head for another Karataka Wari to cut down onto the uke's head. This is an example of a technique or pattern of threes where a specific move is done 3 times in a row, which causes the uke to unconsciously expect the third attack to be the same as the previous 2. Batto, extracting sword. The uke is in a right forward Seigan, and the tori is in a left forward Hasso no Kamae. The tori shifts forward onto the left foot and jabs at the right toki, top of the foot, with the ishisaki, the end opposite the blade. The uke moves the right foot, and then the tori steps forward again with the left foot and thrusts at the left toke, causing the uke to move the left foot. Then the tori steps forward with the right leg and does a hidari yoko mengiri, a cut to the side of the left head of the uke. Gisen, before dawn, preceding the sun. The uke is in a right forward Seigan, and the tori is in a right forward Chudan, or Naka Seigan. The tori aggressively thrusts forward with the Nakago toward the men, or face, while stepping forward with the right leg. The uke parries the Nakago with the sword off to his right, which causes the tori to step forward and left with the left leg. Then, while turning the blade upwards, the tori does a migi kota hana age giri to the right wrist, or a kira age diagonal upward cut either to the right butsumetsu or right waki axilla. Then, while stepping right with the left leg crossing over, the tori then does a dropping cut to the inside of the right knee, the uchi hiza. Shintou, stretching sword. The uke is in a right forward Seigan, and the tori is also in a right forward Seigan. The uke shifts forward, stepping with the right leg to straighten his arms and ski thrust to Shintou, the center of the chest. The tori steps forward and right to avoid the cut while straightening the arms, and in a pendulum-like movement swings the bisento so that the Nakago is high up on the right to the left of the uke. Then, stepping forward with the right leg and back with the left leg, do a Hidari dogiri, a left cut to the body, horizontal to the ground. Seitou, realization sword. The uke is in a left forward Daijodan no Kamae. The tore is in a right forward Yoko Ichimonji no Kamae with the Nakago forward. The uke steps forward with the right leg and cuts downward to the top of the head with the Karataka Wari. As the uke cuts, the tore steps forward and right with the right leg to avoid the blade, bringing the Nakago up to his right, and then comes down with a kote giri cut to the right and left kote and the suka to knock the sword from the uke's hands. Miken, bewitching blade. The uke starts in a left forward Seigan, and the tori starts in a left forward Hasso no Kamae. The tore moves to open his left side for an attack by the uke. The uke moves the sword into a left forward Daijodan and then steps forward with the right leg for a Karataka Wari downward cut to the top of the head. The tore raises the Bisento for Jodan Ukemi, a parrying strike, knocking the uke's katana off to the side. Using the power of the hit from the uke's sword, the tore then steps forward with the right leg for a hidari dogiri, sideward horizontal cut to the body at butsumetsu, and then brings the Nakago up to the left shoulder, letting go with the left hand and grabbing above the right hand with the left hand, and then bringing the right leg back and around, does a Migi dogiri to the uke's right butsumetsu.